Um, this is my first real like attempt at this, even though this is probably like my third or fourth time recording it and then trying to edit. So I'm gonna try and refine this process as much as possible, obviously, as I try and like move forward. So I apologize for the audio quality and the video quality currently. I'm actually using my laptop right now because my vlog cam, I lost the charge cord to it. I know, real smart on my part. And then my mic, which did work a year ago, which was the last time that I used it, I went and tested it yesterday, and I was getting this weird audio loop feedback, so that doesn't work anymore. This actually started, part of it anyway, started as a, not a vlog, but an actual video log. What I mean by that is, instead of writing in my journal every day, like I was supposed to, my therapist came up with the idea that, well, if you're always on the computer or doing things with the computer anyway, then why don't you record your journal entries into a video log? That way you can bring them in and then I can review them instead of having to manually read journal entries. So more recently in my life, there's been some developments, I guess you could call them, I don't know, setbacks, people throwing shit into the fan, and admittedly a lot of it was my own fault. I had never experienced that level of like anxiety or just like that level of just straight out depression. I had never experienced that before. In the deepest part of this depression that I didn't recognize as depression at first because it was just so strong, it was just so pervasive. Like I cried so hard that I actually started to throw up, and that's never happened to me before. I've never experienced that before. It was just so awful. Just, oh my god, I can't describe the feeling going through this. And then with the whole like COVID situation going on, there's like services like therapy and stuff like that. There's some, like, they're not open because nobody wants to be trapped in an office with somebody, especially if you're not wearing a mask or you don't, you've not been tested, or and I understand that. I guess there's like online therapy. I haven't looked into it. I lack certain outlets, obviously, saying that, for certain emotions and certain thoughts and certain things, I guess. In short, I've got no one to talk to. So, well, I downloaded software to do some editing because I wanted to put another kind of video on YouTube, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna combine the two. Like, I'm gonna combine the video log and the video that I wanted to do. So that's where part of this very strange intro is coming from. So I'm currently trying to go through a change in my life. Like, I'm trying to be a better person, and everybody says that, and everybody should aspire to it, or at least I think they should. Like, up to this point, I have not lived a life that was conducive or helpful in any way to anybody but myself. I know the onus, especially for the current situation, is mine to bear alone. More recently, like I said, I've been going through a lot of stuff in my life that's given me serious perspective and a depression that I've never felt before. So this last 2 weeks has been extremely difficult. That is an understatement. As I said before, like, I'm in a place right now where I'm trying to be a better person. I've always wanted to do things that would help somebody in some way. Like if you were going through a problem, or I heard you talking about something and I felt like I could fix it, or knew I could fix it somehow, I would go out of my way to do that. And I'm still like that, probably to a fault. I've been looking for a job. I just kind of want to get out there. Like, I just want to get back out into the world. So I've just like applied to a bunch of different jobs. Everybody always says it, like, you have to help yourself before you can help other people. And that's currently the stage that I'm in. You know, like, I'm trying to help myself, and in a better way, because like I said before, up to this point I've lived very selfishly. So trying to help myself be a better person, not selfish person. Like, I even thought about being a first responder, like being like a paramedic or something. Wait, I think that's a wrong word for it. I think paramedic is somebody that jumps out of as like a medic that jumps out of an airplane or something. Being like an emergency technician, like a first responder of some kind. I thought about doing that for a while. The world just needs more of that. I think the world just needs more people to help. As for content, as I was saying, this is like my first real attempt at it, so I didn't start this with like a mission statement, if you will. But for the moment, again, this video is probably going to be all over the place. Here in the West, COVID got pretty bad. Like in the US and then in Canada, it got pretty bad. Not as bad as what happened in Italy, and I'm assuming what happened in China. Again, probably didn't get the full reports of that because we know how China is. I'm guessing it was really, really bad there. And then in Italy, it got so bad. I mean, people were literally, you know, there's like doctors and everybody were dead. So they said, you stay home and die. Sorry, we've got no one to help you. That's like the level of panic that gives me is just unreal. I'm glad that it didn't get like that where we are. Like, it didn't even get to the point where, like, during the quarantine where everybody shut everything down. Like, I know there were places, especially like in California, like where they shut everything down. Like, I mean everything. Like, it was just ghostly. There were places here that were like that. I mean, like, there was a time where I remember I walked out onto the freeway, like the actual freeway, and I looked in both directions and saw nothing, and for like a long time, and I was like, this is so weird. It was just very, very surreal. Very, very surreal. But we didn't get so bad to the point where like everything was shut down. Like, our stores and stuff were still open. Like, a lot of non-essential stores did shut down, but we still had like our food stores and stuff like that were still open. There were fast food places open, so the fast food didn't shut down. Even now, with the quarantines, the various quarantines that have been lifted, like I know the states lifted their quarantine, and it got really, really bad again. And I think a lot of that was just due to people being stuck inside for so long. And then a lot of people, once the quarantine lifted, because a lot of the companies weren't making money anymore, let's be honest here, you know, a lot of people were about to go bankrupt. So it's like, we have to lift the quarantine. We've got to get some kind of capital going on. With everybody thinking that way, no one is going to stay home. I'm just glad that here, at least, enough people are still respecting the fact that this pandemic is still happening, like it's still going on, and if not just going on, getting worse in some places. So like, some places are getting really bad. Okay, like in California, again, we have like TikTokers, and Nikita Dragon, she threw a party for Lorray. What are you people doing? Like, first of which, it's a party, so number one, you're not gonna have COVID scanners at the door, and like, it's a party. You're not gonna have people social distancing and wearing masks. Like, are you kidding me? Tana Mojo and Erica Costell, they were at a party, I'm not sure which one, but they were like on an Insta Live or something, and they literally said, "We don't care." And it's just like, okay, we get that. We understand that you don't care, but even if you don't, that's something you should probably keep to yourself, because again, you're setting a dangerous precedent. But that is in fact what happens. And when you're saying that, or even drunkenly encouraging this kind of behavior and telling people that, you know what, I don't care, you know, like, yeah, say what you want to say, but I'm gonna go out and do what I want to do. Do you know how many other people and like how many other teenagers and how many other kids and young adults are going to go out and going to adopt that same attitude. So many people are getting sick, and you're further contributing to the death of people, and that's scary. That's scary as hell. I'm pretty sure they released statements after they found out they got sick, but James Charles at least tried to get out in front of it, and he did release an apology statement. You know, this shit had already hit the fan, but he at least, you know, tried to take accountability. And Nikita Dragon, same thing with her. She released I think it was an Insta Live again. She was very unapologetic. The encouragement of other people to be unapologetic bad bitches with that kind of attitude is very dangerous. And again, very scary. This is, you know, with the amount of people that are on the earth right now, like what is it, like 7 or 8 billion people, this could have turned into an epidemic. I also was watching Keemstar's channel. He said that the Nelk Boys held a protest, or protest, is that's what they wanted to call it, saying that they wanted gyms to reopen, or at least some gyms to reopen. What I don't understand here, again, with the whole COVID situation, how do these people not think that the gathering of people for this protest was not going to get more people sick? Like, Keem was right, like, this is like Oprah, they're just handing out the COVID for you, COVID for you, COVID for you, you know, it's just like, as for TikTok being banned, I'm not sure. Like, what I heard was, if an American company doesn't buy TikTok, that they were in fact going to ban it from the United States. So I don't know what that means for Canada. I think the last I heard, there was an American company in the talks of buying it. So I'm pretty sure that TikTok won't be banned. I wanted to talk a little bit about what happened with Shane Dawson. We haven't heard anything from him since Tati's video. I think it was called Breaking My Silence, I think it was called. And we've never seen Shane Dawson like that before. Like, he lost his shit. I've never seen him flip out like that before. His fiance, you could hear him in the background, like, telling him to get off. You know, it's like, get off live. Like, this is not a good look. Turn that shit off now. So he ended it pretty fast. We've not heard anything from him or seen anything from him since that video. And then he was already in the hot seat right before that video had taken place because of the whole Willow thing, the whole Willow Smith thing, and then other video content that had been, I obviously do not condone any of that behavior or anything that was said, and really don't find any of his old content funny at all. I don't know if he should have been cancelled for something like that. I don't know the guy personally. I've only watched some of his like documentary content, and I can't imagine how hard this is for him. You just must feel like the world is just against him. I couldn't imagine, you know, what that, on that scale, what that would feel like. I mean, we've heard from Morgan. She released a video not too long ago that just, it took off. Her video just, like, the views just went through the roof. Everybody watched that. Speaking about Shane Dawson and my depression, when I was watching his documentary content, he was having a panic attack on a plane, or as he was getting on a plane, and he took a Xanax. He said that he could still feel the panic attack underneath, but it was like underneath that wall of like the medication. I am not a fan of being prescribed medications to combat mental illnesses, depression, or things like that. I was a firm believer that to fix whatever problem that we had, whether it be depression or actual diseases like lupus or anything like that. Like, I firmly believed that you needed drugs, you needed narcotics to fix these problems. As I've learned the hard way, narcotics, especially the ones that can be extraordinarily addictive, I would say a good 80 to 90% of the time, just not needed. And realizing that big pharma, it's just, it's a way to make money. I, like Shane Dawson, suffer from panic attacks, and not just the panic attacks, but from certain levels of depression. More recently, just got really, really bad. I used Xanax to try to combat the anxiety, the extreme anxiety that I was feeling. I also have to take another medication. Unfortunately, the Xanax does not react well with the other medication that I take. This led to a series of blackouts. It is as scary as it sounds, because it's like your brain is turned off, but your body is still going. What gets a little bit scarier is the fact that you appear really, really lucid and coherent. You look like you're awake and functioning okay, but you're not. When your brain turns back on and you come out of these little blackouts, it's like a photograph, like it's like a picture. So like you come out of it and it's like, oh, it's like a mental snapshot picture of whatever it is you were doing at the moment, with no context, obviously. So it's like you take a mental snapshot, but you look at it on the other side and nobody's written anything, so you don't know what time it's from and why it was taken, but there it is. So that's what that's like. You would go back under, and then a little while later, again, mental snapshot, and that's how those blackouts would work. They would just get worse and worse. They also cause severe memory loss, which is unreal. I'd never experienced like a memory loss like that before. Like, that was very, very freaky. It was very scary and very frustrating. Very frustrating not being able to remember certain things. And then, of course, through the blackouts too, people would ask me, it's like, do you not remember what you said? Do you not remember doing this? And it's like, no, I don't remember any of that. Like, how did I even get there? And that's scary. And don't text anybody while you're drinking or drunk or anything like that. Yeah, it almost has that effect as well. So like, if you were trying to call somebody on your phone, or you were trying to leave somebody a message on your phone, they wouldn't understand it, or they would be like, okay, something is seriously wrong here, like something is not right. Like, again, with the memory loss, certain things, like it was almost like the autocorrect and the autofill on your phone. Like my brain, because of the memory loss and because of being blacked out, I would be talking to somebody, and right in the middle of a conversation, because of the Xanax, I would either switch to another avenue, like totally digress into something else, or I would start not making sense. Like, I would start mentioning other people or other names. It definitely led to a huge destruction of a part of my life. I'm just in a place now where, again, like I said, huge life changes, on top of not taking narcotics of any kind anymore. I'm currently in the middle of moving, trying to find my own place again, which is really exciting, a little bit scary, but really exciting. It's been a serious change, and all because of a drug destroying my life. Again, like I said, I'm not one to blame things on others, including inanimate objects like drugs. The Xanax definitely did aid in the destruction of a huge part of my life. I can't get parts of that back. There are parts of my life that I can't get back because of that. which again, like I said, obviously led to depression. You know, like I still have really big issues with that. You know, like I wake up with the same thoughts and I go to bed thinking about the same thing, and it's really, really hard. And the Xanax actually makes that worse, because yeah, it does deaden the emotions. Like you are not emotionally there or mentally there if it's reacting badly with another medication, like what happened to me. Taking drugs is not a way to fix anything. Like, you know, it was jokingly, but still, like, he was offering people Xanax on the documentary. Like, he was like, do you want a med, you know? And it was just like, it was funny and lighthearted at the time. Now that I've experienced this, it's not something that I'm gonna ever joke about, because it's just not funny to me, especially. A little bit random, but I saw that the Ace family is coming out with a juice or something. I don't know if they're like, I don't think they're like juice boxes or anything like that, but I think they're for kids. Like, I think they're like a bunch of juice flavors, but I think they're for kids. They even had James Charles and I believe Jake Paul taste test these juices. Or my guess is they went down this avenue because they've got kids of their own, so they probably wanted to do something more kid friendly. Because the stuff that I see him do and the stuff that he's known for, not a big fan of. Just everything that he does is just so Like when he was driving that Sea-Doo thing around or whatever it was in his pool and like just soaking the neighbors. Do you have shit for brains? Like, I don't understand how that is normal to you. You know, there are just things that he did that were just, you know, not cool. The only other thing that I can remember him for before that was that break-in, that supposed break-in that happened at his house, and then the basketball tournaments or the basketball shootout tournament things that he set up for the YouTubers and other famous people, I think, that one time. That's the only thing that I can really remember the Ace family for, because again, like I said, I don't watch them. Either way, I'm pretty sure that it'll make them quite a bit of money. So, you know, congratulations to them, I guess, you know. Oh, speaking of Jake Paul, it's been in the news recently that Jake Paul's mansion was raided. He's not actually at his house. I think he's in... I don't know where he is. He's training for his fight right now. So wherever he is, he's training for his fight right now. But his mansion and their manager, or whatever you want to call him, Armani Azadi, his graffiti mansion was raided in Las Vegas. Both mansions were raided. Now, at Jake Paul's mansion, I believe some weapons were taken out of there, and I don't know if a computer or computers were taken. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I do know weapons were taken. I don't know if anything else was seized, and I don't know what was in the warrant either. So I'm not sure what they were after exactly. But we do know that Mr. Azadi is a proclaimed pimp and is a criminal with a criminal history from Las Vegas. Now, we also know that some girls that used to work for Mr. Azadi over in Las Vegas were flown to the Team 10 house. We can put two and two together. We know what they were doing there. You know, everybody's like, well, why would Jake and Team 10 have this guy around? Like, they're profiting in some way from what Mr. Azadi has to offer. And it was also said that he begged and begged for months to get control of the Team 10 Instagram account. There's a 18-year-old Instagram model that has now leveled charges against Mr. Azadi. 4 days later, the FBI shows up. So this was under the pretext of being a member of Team 10. This poor girl goes over there and ends up being assaulted by Mr. Azadi. Jake Paul's career is not going to be untouched by this. I, again, don't know the charges, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to be really bad for him. But, you know, we've also seen people get away with worse. It might just be a case of Mr. Azadi, you know, resigning himself from Team 10 and then being arrested. you know, and then Jake Paul was just gonna maybe release a statement saying, you know, oh, sorry, we didn't know what he was doing. We might see something along that line. God knows we've seen it before. You know, the FBI, unlike police, just like normal police, they don't just throw around warrants and investigations, so we know that they've been watching at least for a little while. So wanted to talk about a website really quick called, I think it's called Us Gay Boys. Probably butchering that really badly. I just ordered 3 jackets from there. Well, 2 jackets and a coat. I just wanted to talk real quick about the quality of the jackets and the price, like the quality of the materials that are used for the clothes are just amazing. The pricing is really good actually. Like, for the quality that you're getting is really bang on. So I'm a huge collector of coats, shoes, boots, and hats. I do recommend that you go check out this site. It is awesome, so stellar. The designs of the clothing and some of the coats, like the one coat that I just ordered it used to be a kimono, and they repurposed it into a black, it's almost like a dinner coat. They've just done stellar work with this stuff, and I highly recommend that you go and give them some love for sure. Well, that's all that I really have for now anyway. I apologize for how all over the place this was. Like I was saying at the beginning, I'm really new to this whole process. All of it, especially the editing part. So if you have any questions or ideas about like content, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. Obviously, try really hard to have my cam up and running. The stuff that I have going on in my life right now, like I was saying, you know, I'm in the middle of moving, trying to find a place in this city. You know, I'm trying to get my license back. Yes, I said get it back, I lost it. So I am really hoping that I'm able to film and edit something that you guys will like watching. Later days.